Welcome to YouTube Pedia. Behind the gentle smile, behind the iconic voice of Woody, behind the roles that touched our hearts, lies the story of a man who rose from emotional chaos to become one of the most respected actors in the world. This is the untold journey of Tom Hanks, a name that defines trust, warmth, and timeless storytelling. Discover the greatest stories from history, science, and beyond. If you're curious about the world, subscribe now and join our journey through knowledge. Thomas Jeffrey Hanks was born on July 9, 1956 in Concord, California. But life didn't offer him the warmth of a typical American childhood. His parents, Amos Mefford Hanks, a cook, and Janet Marilyn Frazier, a hospital worker, divorced when he was just 5 years old. Tom was the third of 4 siblings, and when his parents split, he went to live with his father. But Amos wasn't the stable anchor every child needs. He was constantly moving from place to place, working different jobs. By the time Tom turned 10, he had lived in 10 different homes and attended 5 different schools. This constant instability shaped young Tom into someone quiet, observant, and a little lonely. He often felt like an outsider, never fully belonging anywhere. And perhaps this deep emotional void would later become the well he drew from for his deeply human performances. In school, Tom wasn't the popular kid. He wasn't a sports hero or a social butterfly. But he had something else: curiosity. He once said, "I was a geek, a spaz. I was horribly, painfully, terribly shy." That started to change when he took an interest in acting. It all began in high school theater. For Tom, the stage was magic, a place where he could finally belong. A place where emotions weren't weaknesses but power. He enrolled in Chabot College and later transferred to California State University, Sacramento, where he studied theater. But Hanks wasn't satisfied with just sitting in class. He took a bold step, accepting an internship at the Great Lakes Theater Festival in Cleveland, Ohio. There he worked day and night, learning every aspect of stagecraft. He acted, built sets, handled lights, everything. For 3 years, he lived the life of a struggling theater artist, growing not just as a performer, but as a human being. In 1979, with just a suitcase and a dream, Tom moved to New York City. Like so many young actors, he started from the bottom: small roles, auditions, rejection after rejection. Finally, in 1980, he got his first big break, a lead role in the TV sitcom Bosom Buddies, where he dressed in drag to live in an all-female apartment building. The show was goofy, absurd, and short-lived, but Tom's charm stood out. Hollywood noticed. He began landing roles in light-hearted comedies. Films like Splash, 1984, directed by Ron Howard, put him on the map. Tom played a lovable everyman who falls in love with a mermaid. The film was a hit, and it showed that he could carry a movie with humor, heart, and that unique Tom Hanks sincerity. In 1988, Tom starred in Big, the story of a 12-year-old boy who magically wakes up in the body of a 30-year-old man. His performance was pure magic, innocent, funny, and heart-wrenchingly believable. He earned his first Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. America fell in love with Tom Hanks. But behind the scenes, his life wasn't picture perfect. His first marriage to actress Samantha Luz was falling apart. They had 2 children, but the strain of his rising fame and constant travel took its toll. They divorced in 1987. Still, Tom remained devoted to being a father. and his emotional life continued to add layers to his performances. Then came the 1990s, a decade that would forever change Tom Hanks's legacy. In 1993, he starred in Philadelphia as a lawyer fired for having AIDS. At a time when the disease was still taboo and poorly understood, Tom gave a performance filled with pain, dignity, and silent strength. He won his first Oscar for Best Actor. A year later, in 1994, came the role that would cement him in cinematic history, Forrest Gump. From the first line, "Life is like a box of chocolates," the world was hooked. Tom played a man with a low IQ but a pure heart, whose journey touches nearly every major event in American history. Forrest Gump was a miracle of storytelling, and Tom's performance made it unforgettable. For the second year in a row, he won the Oscar for Best Actor, a feat accomplished by only one other actor before him, Spencer Tracy. The success followed success. Tom's name became a stamp of trust. If Tom Hanks was in a movie, people showed up. He starred in Apollo 13, 1995, a powerful true story of NASA's failed moon mission. Then came the beloved romantic comedy You've Got Mail, 1998, with Meg Ryan, where he blended charm with emotional depth. And in 1998, Steven Spielberg cast him in Saving Private Ryan, a brutal and honest depiction of World War II. Tom played Captain John Miller, a man worn down by war but holding onto his humanity. The performance was subtle but unforgettable. Through it all, Tom remained humble, grounded, and kind, a rare quality in Hollywood. In 1995, Tom took on a very different role. The voice of Woody, the pull-string cowboy doll in Pixar's Toy Story. The film was the first fully computer-animated feature and a cultural phenomenon. Tom's voice gave Woody a soul, loyal, brave, and sometimes jealous or insecure. Kids loved him. Adults connected with him. Woody became more than a toy, he became a friend. Tom would return for 4 Toy Story films over 2 decades. Each time his voice matured along with the audience, reflecting deeper themes of love, loss, and letting go. By the early 2000s, Tom was not just an actor, he was a storyteller. He produced the award-winning mini-series Band of Brothers and The Pacific, bringing the raw truths of war to the screen. He also directed films like That Thing You Do, showing his love for music, nostalgia, and youth. Through his company Playtone, he helped bring stories to life that mattered, uplifting, human, and sometimes heartbreaking. Over the decades, Tom Hanks became more than an actor. He became a symbol of integrity, honesty, and goodness. He won 2 Academy Awards, 7 Emmy Awards, 4 Golden Globes, Presidential Medal of Freedom, 2016, awarded by Barack Obama. He was inducted into the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, and even honored by the Kennedy Center. But beyond awards, it was his universal relatability that made him beloved. Whether he played a soldier, a lawyer, a castaway, or a toy, he brought empathy to every role. After a painful divorce from his first wife Samantha Luz in 1987, Tom was at an emotional crossroads. He was a young father navigating Hollywood fame and personal emptiness, but life had a twist in store. While filming the TV sitcom Bosom Buddies and later the film Volunteers, Tom met actress Rita Wilson. She was warm, witty, and spiritual. Their connection was instant, not just romantic, but soul-deep. In 1988, Tom married Rita Wilson, and by his own words, "My life changed forever." She became his anchor, his closest friend, and his partner in everything. They had 2 sons together, Chester, Chet, and Truman, adding to the 2 children from his previous marriage, Colin and Elizabeth. Tom often credits Rita as the reason he remained humble and grounded, saying, "Without her, I don't know what kind of man I'd be. I'd probably be a mess." Their love story became one of Hollywood's rare fairy tales, full of laughter, music, and quiet strength. March 2020, the world stood still. COVID-19 had become a global threat, and no one, not even Hollywood royalty, was immune. In Australia, while filming the Elvis Presley biopic, Tom and Rita tested positive for the virus. It was one of the first celebrity cases, and the world was shaken. Fans feared the worst. But even in illness, Tom did what he always does: calm the storm. From his hospital bed, he posted updates with humor and optimism. "Remember, despite all the current events, there is no crying in baseball." His recovery, shared openly, gave the public hope and showed that behind the fame, he was just like us, human, vulnerable, and brave. Tom Hanks never chases trends. He chases truth. He chooses roles that reflect the human condition, stories of resilience, faith, and decency. Let's look at a few of his unforgettable performances that touched millions. Castaway 2000. As Chuck Noland, a man stranded on a deserted island after a plane crash, Hanks gave one of the most raw and physical performances in film history. He lost 50 pounds, grew out his hair and beard, and acted alone on screen for over an hour. His only co-star was a volleyball Wilson, and somehow he made us cry over it. The Terminal 2004. Playing a man from a fictional country stuck in an airport due to a bureaucratic nightmare, Tom captured the kindness and quiet dignity of immigrants around the world. Captain Phillips 2013. As a cargo ship captain taken hostage by Somali pirates, Hanks showed fear, courage, and the breaking point of human endurance. The final scene, raw, wordless, trembling, was so powerful, many called it Oscar-worthy on its own. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood 2019. As Mr. Rogers, Tom didn't just imitate, he embodied compassion. Every quiet pause, every look, every whispered line reminded us that kindness isn't weakness, it's power. Beyond acting, Tom Hanks is a passionate writer, director, and producer. He helped bring to life the war miniseries Band of Brothers and the Pacific executive producer. The musical nostalgia film That Thing You Do, director-writer. The space drama From the Earth to the Moon. Through his production company Platon, Tom focuses on stories with heart, history, and hope. He's also a novelist. In 2017, he published Uncommon Type, a collection of short stories, all somehow involving typewriters, one of his favorite hobbies. In 2023, he released The Making of Another Major Motion Picture Masterpiece, reflecting his deep love for storytelling. Tom Hanks doesn't often speak loudly about his personal beliefs, but when he does, they come from a place of introspection. He converted to the Greek Orthodox Church after marrying Rita Wilson. He speaks warmly of faith, gratitude, and forgiveness. He once said, "I think the tenets of what is right and wrong are pretty well set. Don't lie, don't cheat, help others, that's it." In interviews, he often talks about being a work in progress, admitting past mistakes and always trying to grow. His humility isn't an act, it's who he is. Tom Hanks uses his influence for good. He supports countless causes: children's hospitals, environmental protection, veterans charities, cancer research. He's also known for responding personally to fans, sending handwritten notes, gifts, and even old-school typewritten replies to letters. In 2004, he was named the nicest guy in Hollywood, not because of PR campaigns, but because of the way he treats people when the cameras are off. No great figure escapes the fog of rumors. Tom Hanks, surprisingly, has been targeted by strange conspiracy theories, especially during the rise of the QAnon movement. Accusations with no evidence linked him to elite circles involved in secret wrongdoings. Wild theories about Hollywood elites, hidden messages, and even bizarre ideas like him faking his COVID illness spread online. Tom, always graceful, never fed the fire. He didn't respond angrily or try to fight back on social media. He simply continued being himself, honest, kind, and focused on his work. Most people saw through the nonsense, and his fans stood by him. As the years pass, Tom Hanks has become more than a movie star. He is a symbol of integrity in art, kindness in fame, hope in a cynical world. Actors admire him, directors trust him, audiences love him. Whether it's Woody telling Andy goodbye or Forrest sitting on that bench or Chuck Nolan screaming for Wilson, Tom Hanks speaks the language of emotion. He makes us laugh, cry, and believe in good people again. Now in his late 60s, Tom continues to act but more selectively. He chooses roles that resonate, not roles that sell. He's also a proud grandfather, a mentor to young artists, and a man reflecting on the journey behind him. He once said, "I've made peace with who I am. I know my flaws, but I also know my blessings." And perhaps that's the real secret of his greatness, not perfection but presence. So who is Tom Hanks? Not just the voice of Woody, not just the guy from Forrest Gump, not just an actor. He is a storyteller of the human soul, someone who reminds us that kindness matters, that love heals, and that no matter where you start, you can become something extraordinary. From a broken childhood to global fame, from the stage in Cleveland to the Oscars in Hollywood, from illness and rumors to love and legacy. Tom Hanks stands as a rare kind of legend, not one built on power or controversy, but on decency, depth, and truth. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the incredible life of Tom Hanks, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments below, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories, mysteries, and untold truths about the people who shaped our world. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Thank you for watching, and remember, greatness often begins in the most humble places.